Scullus.
My lord?
The nature of our people, our city's institutions, and the terms for common justice. You are as pregnant in his arts, and practice hath enriched any that we remember. There is our commission, from which we would not have you walk. Call hither. I say, bid come before us Angelo. What figure of us think you he will bear? But you must know, we have with special soul elected him our absence to supply, lent him our terror, dressed him with our love, and given his deputation all the organs of our own power. What think you of it?
Well, if any in Vienna be worthy to undergo such ample grace and honour, it'd be Lord Angelo.
Look where he comes!
Always obedient to your grace's will, I come to know thy pleasure.
Angelo, in our remove be at fault yourself. Mortality and mercy in Vienna live in thy tongue and heart. Old Aeschylus, though first in question, will be thy secondary. Take thy commission.
Oh, good now, my lord, let there be some more test made of my metal before so great and noble a figure be stamped upon it.
No more evasion. We have, with a leavened and prepared choice, proceeded to you. Therefore, take your honours. We shall write to you as time in our concerning shall importune, how it goes with us, and do wish to know what doth befall you here. So, fare you well. To the hopeful executions do I leave you of your commissions.
Yet give leave, my lord, that we may give you something on the way.
My haste may not admit it, nor would you on mine honour have to do. With any scope your scruples as mine own. So to enforce and qualify the laws as your soul seems good. Give me your hand. I'll privily away. I love the people, but do not like to stage me to their eyes. Though it do well, I do not relish well their loud applause or apes vehement. Nor do I think the man of safe discretion that does affect it. Once more, fare you well.
The heavens give safety to your purpose.
Lead forth and bring you back into happiness.
Thank you. Farewell.
I should pray you, Lord, to give me leave to have free speech with you. And it concerns me to look at the bottom of my place, a power that I have, but what strength and nature I'm not yet instructed.
'Tis so with me. Let us withdraw together, and we may soon our satisfaction come touching upon that point.
Wait upon your honour.
If the Duke, with the other dukes, come not to composition with the King of Hungary, why then all dukes fall upon the King.
Heaven grants us its peace, but not the King of Hungary's.
Oh, behold, behold, where Madam Mitigation comes. I've purchased as many diseases under her roof as come to.
I and more.
The French crown more.
How now? Which of your hips has the most profound sciatica?
Well, well, there's one yonder arrested and carried away to prison, and 5,000 of you all.
Who's that, I pray thee?
Marry, sir, that's Claudio, Signor Claudio.
Claudio to prison 'tis not so.
Nay, it is so. I saw him arrested, saw him carried away, and which is more, within these 3 days, his head to be chopped off.
But after all this fooling, art thou sure of this?
Nay, 'tis sure of it, and it's forgetting Madam Julietta with child.
Believe me, this may be. He promised to meet me 2 hours since, and he was ever precise in promise keeping.
But most of all agreeing with the proclamation.
Away, let's go learn the truth of it.
Thus, what with the war, what with the sweat, what with the gallows, what with the poverty, I am cussed and shrunk. How now? What's the news with you?
Yonder man is carried to prison.
Well, what has he done?
A woman,
Well, what's his offence?
groping for trouts in a peculiar river.
What? Is there a maid with child by him?
No, but there is a woman with maid by him. You've not heard the proclamation, have you?
What proclamation?
All houses in the suburbs of Vienna are to be plucked down.
And what shall happen to those in the city?
They shall stand proceed, they will be plucked down too, but for a wise burgher put in for them.
And what shall happen to those of resort in the suburbs? Shall they be pulled too?
To the ground, mistress.
Why, how everything has changed in the Commonwealth. What shall become of me?
Come, fear not you, good counsels lack no clients.
Though you need change your place, you need not change your trade. I'll be your tapster still. Look, it will be fine. Pity will be taken on you.
What's to be done here, Thomas Tapster? Let's withdraw.
There's Signor Claudio led to the prison with Provost, and there's Madame Juliet.
Fellow, why dost thou show me thus to the world? Bear me to prison where I am committed.
I do it not in evil disposition, but from Lord Angelo by special charge.
Thus can the demigod authority make us pay down our offence by weight? The words of heaven, on whom it will, on whom it will not, so yet still 'tis just.
Why, how now, Claudio? Whence comes this restraint?
From too much liberty, my Lucio, liberty. As to fight the fathers of much fast, so every scope of the immoderate use turns to restraint. Our natures do pursue, like rats that ravin down their proper bane, a thirsty evil, and when we drink, we die.
If I could speak so wisely under an arrest, I would send for certain of my creditors. And yet I had as life have the foppery of freedom as morality of imprisonment. What's thy offence, Claudio?
What but to speak of would offend again?
What is murder?
No,
Lechery?
call it so.
Away, sir, you must go.
One word, good friend. Lucio, a word with you.
100 if they'll do you any good. Is lechery so looked after?
Thus stands upon me a true contract. I got possession of Juliet's bed. You know the lady, she is fast my wife, save that we do the denunciation's lack of outward order. This we came not to, only for propagation of a dower, remaining in the coffer of her friends, from whom we thought it meet to hide our love till time had made them for us. But it chances, the stealth of our most mutual entertainment, with characters too gross, is writ on Juliet.
With child, perhaps?
And happily even so. And the deputy now for the commissioner, whether it be a faulting glimpse of newness, or whether the body public be a horse whereon the governor doth ride, who, newly on the seat, it may know he can command. But this new governor awaits me all the enrolled penalties, and for a name, puts the drowsy and neglected act freshly on me. But 'tis surely for a name.
I warrant it is, and thy head stands so tickle on thy shoulders that a milkmaid, if she may be in love, may sigh it off. Send after the commissioner and appeal to him.
I have done so, but he's not to be found. I pray thee, Lucio, do me this kind service. This day my sister should the cloister enter, to receive her approbation. Acquaint her to the danger of my state, implore her in my voice to make friends to the strict deputy, bid herself assay him. I have great hope that, for in her youth there is a prone and speechless dialect, much as move men. Besides, she hath prosperous art, where she will play with reason and discourse, and well she can persuade.
I pray she may, as well for the encouragement of the like, which else would stand on a grievous imposition. As for the enjoying of thy life, which who I should be sorry should be thus foolishly lost a game of tic-tac, I'll to her.
Thank you, good friend Lucio.
Within 2 hours.
Come off, sir. Away.
May...
No, holy father. Why I desire thee to give me secret harbour hath a purpose, more grave and wrinkled than the aims and ends of burning you.
May your grace speak of it.
I have delivered to Lord Angelo, a man of stricture and firm abstinence, my absolute power and place here in Vienna. And he supposed me travelled to Poland. For so I have strewn it in the common ear, so it is received. Now, pious sir, you will demand of me why I do this.
Gladly.
We have strict statutes and most biting laws, the needful bits and curbs to headstrong steeds, which we have these 14 years let slip, even like an overgrown lion in a cave that goes not out to prey. Now, as fond fathers, having bound the threatening twigs of birch to stick it in their children's sight for terror, but not to use, in time the rod becomes more mocked than feared, and our decrees, dead to infliction, are to themselves dead, and liberty plucks justice by the nose. The baby beats the nurse, and quite athwart goes all decorum.
It rested in your grace to unloosen this tied-up justice as you pleased, and it in you more dreadful would have seemed than in Lord Angelo.
I do fear too dreadful. Therefore, indeed, father, I have the office imposed on Angelo, that he may, in the ambush of my name, strike her. Yet my nature never in the fight to do with slander. And to behold his sway, I will, as 'twere a brother of your order, visit both prince and people. Therefore, I prithee, supply me with a habit, and instruct me how I may formally in person bear me, like a true friar. More reason for this action, that on more leisure shall I render you. Only this one. Lord Angelo is precise, stands guard with envy, scarce confesses that his blood flows, or that his appetite is more to bread than stone. Hence shall we see, if power change purpose, what our seamers be.
And how pronounce my father privileges? Are not these large enough?
Yes, truly, I speak not as desiring more, but rather wishing a more strict restraint upon the sister, the votaress of St. Clair.
Oh, peace be in this place.
Who's that which calls?
It's a man's voice, gentle Isabella. Turn me to the key and know his business of him. You may, and I may not. You are yet unsworn. When you have vowed, you mustn't speak to men. But in the presence of the prioress, if you speak to men, you mustn't show your face. And if you show your face, you mustn't speak. He calls again, I pray you answer him.
Peace and prosperity, who is the calls?
Hail, virgin, if you so be, as those cheek roses proclaim you are no less. Can you so stead me as bring me to the sight of Isabella, a novice of this place, and fair sister to our unhappy brother Claudio?
Why her unhappy brother? Let me ask the rather, for now I must make you know I am that sister, and Isabella.
Gentle and fair, your brother kindly greets you. Not to be weary with you, he's in prison.
Why me for what?
For that which, if myself might be his judge, he should receive his punishment with thanks. He hath got a friend with child.
So make me not your story.
It is true, I would not, though it is my familiar sin, with maids to seem the lapwing, to jest with tongue far from heart. I hold you as a thing enskied and sainted, by your remorseful and immortal spirit, to be spoken to with insincerity, as with a saint.
Did you blaspheme the good in mocking me?
Fewness and truth 'tis thus, your brother and his lover have embraced, and of those that feed grow full, from blossoming time the seediness that bare fallow brings the teeming poison. Even so, her plenteous womb expresseth his full tilt in husbandry.
Someone with child by him, my cousin Juliet.
Is she your cousin?
Adoptedly, as schoolmates change their names by vain though apt affection.
She it is.
Ah, let him marry her.
This is the point. The commission has strangely gone far from hence, bore off many gentlemen, myself being one, in hand and hope of action. In his place, and with full line of authority, governs Lord Angelo, a man whose blood is very snow broth, one who never feels the wanton stings and motions of sense. He, to give fear and use and liberty, which have for the long run under hideous law, as mice by lions, hath picked out an act, under whose heavy sense your brother's life falls into forfeit. He sentences him on it, and follows close the rigour and statute to make him an example. All hope is gone, unless you have by your fair prayer to soften Lord Angelo, and that's my pith of business, twixt you and your poor brother.
Doth he so seek his life?
He has sensed him already.
Alas, what poor ability is in me to do him good?
I say the power you
My
have.
power, alas, I doubt.
Our doubts are our traitors, and make us lose the good we oft might win. Go to Lord Angelo, and make him learn to know where maidens sue. Men like gods, but when they weep and kneel, all their petition freely theirs as they themselves would owe them.
I'll see what I can do.
But speedily.
I'll about it straight, no longer staying but to give the mother notice of my affair. I humbly thank you. Commend me to my brother. Soon at night I'll send him certain word of my success.
I take my leave of you.
Good sir, adieu.
We must not make a scarecrow of the law, setting it up to fear the birds of prey, and let it take one shape till custom make it their perch, and not their terror.
Aye, but let us be keen, and rather cut a little than fall and bruise to death. Alas, this gentleman, whom I would save, had the most noble father. Let but your honour know, whom I believe to be the most strength in virtue, that, with the working of your own affections, had time coerced with place, and place with wishing, and that the resolute acting of your own blood could have attained the effect of your own purpose. Had you not at some point in your life erred at this point, that you now censure him, and call the law upon you?
It is one thing to be tempted, Aeschylus, another to fall, and not deny the jury passing on the prisoner's life. May in the sworn 12 that a thief or two guiltier than him they try. What's open made to justice, justice seizes. It is very pregnant, the jewel that we find, we swoop and take it, because we see it. But what we do not see, we tread upon and never think of it. You may not so extenuate his offences, for I've had such faults, but rather answer me now. When I, that do censure him, do so offend, let mine own judgment pattern out to my death, and nothing come impartial. Sir, he must die.
Be it at your wisdom well.
Where is the provost?
Here, if it like your honour.
Is See that Claudio be executed by 9 tomorrow morning. Bring him his confessor, let him be prepared for that utmost of his pilgrimage.
Heaven forgive us and forgive us all. Some rise by sin and some by virtue fall.
Come, bring them away. For if these be good people in the Commonwealth who do nothing but use their abuse in common houses, I know no law against it. Bring them away.
Go to, sir, what's your name and what's the matter?
If it pleases your good honour, I am but a poor commissioner's constable, and my name is Elbow, and I do lean upon justice, and I bring before you a notorious benefactor.
Oh, a benefactor. What benefactor are they? Are they not a malefactor?
If it pleases your good honour, I know not well what they are, but a precise villain they are, and void of all profanations in the world that a good Christian ought to have.
Well, this comes off well. He's a wise officer.
Go to, sir, what quality are they of?
She, sir, a tapster, sir, parcel board, one that serves a bad woman, and whose house, they say, is put down in the suburbs, and she now professes is a hothouse, and I think it is a very ill house too.
And how dost thou know that?
My wife, ma'am, who I detest before heaven in your good honour.
How, thy wife?
Yes, ma'am, my wife, who I thank heaven is an honest woman.
Dost thou detest her, therefore?
Aye, and I would detest myself also as well as she, for this house, for if it not be a bawd's house, is pity on her life, for it is a naughty house.
Oh, and how dost thou know that, constable?
This'll last the night out in Russia when nights are longest there. I'll take my leave and leave you to the hearing of the cause, hoping you'll find good cause to wake them all.
Oh, also, good morrow to you, sir. So, of what, real trade are you of, ma'am?
I'm a tapster, poor widow's tapster.
Your mistress's name?
Mistress Overdone?
And has she had more than one husband?
9, ma'am, overdone by the last.
9? Come hither to me, Master Froth. Now, Master Froth, I would not have you acquainted with this tapster, for she will draw you, and you will have her hung. Get you going, I want to hear no more from you.
I thank your worship. For my own part, I never come to any room in a tap house. No, I'm drawn in.
Well, no more of it, Master Froth. Get you gone. Come hither to me, mistress. Your name?
Pompey?
What else?
Bum, ma'am.
Trough, your bum is the greatest thing about you. So, Pompey, in the beastliest of sense, you are Pompey the Great. Pompey, you are a bawd. However, you colour it in being a tapster, do you not? Tell me true, it'll be better for you.
Truly, ma'am, I'm a poor fellow that would live.
And how would you live, Pompey? By being a bawd? Tell me, what do you think of the trade? Is it a lawful trade?
If the law would allow it, ma'am.
Ah, but the law will not allow it, Pompey. Not here, nor anywhere in Vienna.
Does your worship intend to geld and slay all the youth of the city?
No, Pompey.
Well then, in my poor opinion, they will do it then. If you would take order for the drabs in the nose, you need not fear the boards.
There is pretty beginnings, that is, in heading and hanging.
And if you were to head and hang all who offend that way, but for 10 years together, you'll be lucky to give out commissions for more heads. If this law uphold in Vienna for 10 years, then I will rent in it the fairest house at 3 pence a bay. If you live to see this come to pass, say Pompey told you so.
I thank you, Pompey. And in requital of your prophecy, I advise you not to stand before me here again. If I do, Pompey, I will beat you to your tent. I will prove a shrewd Caesar to you. In short, Pompey, I will have you whipped. So until that time, good day.
I thank your worship for your good counsel, but follow it I shall not. Whip me? No, no. Let the carman whip his jade. The valiant's heart is not whipped from his trade.
He's hearing of a cause. He will come straight. I'll tell him of you.
Pray you do.
Thou knowest better. Maybe he'll relent. Alas, he hath but as offended in a dream. All sects, all age, smack of this vice, and he to die for it.
Now, what's the matter, Provost?
Is it your will Claudio shall die tomorrow?
Have I not already told you, yea? Hast thou not order? Why dost thou ask again?
Unless I might be too rash. Under your good correction, I have seen when, after execution, judgment hath repented o'er his doom.
Oh, let that be mine. Do you your office, or give up your place, and be well spared.
I crave your honour's pardon. What shall be done, sir, with the grown Juliet? She's very near her hour.
Oh, see her admitted to some more fitting place, and that with speed.
Here is the sister of the man condemned. She desires access to you.
Hath he a sister?
Aye, my good lord, a very virtuous maid. and to be shortly of a sisterhood, if not already.
We'll bring her in. Remove all fornications. Let her have needful, but not lavish means. There should be some order for it.
Save your honor.
Oh, stay a while. You are welcome. What's the matter?
I'm a word full suited to your honor. Please let your honor hear me.
Well, the suit.
There is advice that most I do abhor, and most desire should meet the blow of justice, for which I would not plead, but that I must, for which I must not plead, but that I am at war twixt will and will not.
Well, the matter?
I have a brother is condemned to die. I do beseech you, let it be his fault and not my brother.
Condemn the fault and not the actor of it. Why, every fault's condemned ere it be done. Mine's the fine cipher of a function, that fine faults stand fine in record and let go by the actor.
Oh, just but severe, Lord. I had a brother then. Heaven keep your honor.
Give not over so, to will again, entreat him, kneel down before him, hang upon his gown. If you should need a pin, you could not with more tame a tongue desire it.
Must he needs die?
Maiden, no remedy.
Yes, I do think you might pardon him, and heaven nor man grieve for the mercy.
I will not.
But can you, if you would?
Listen, what I will not, I cannot do.
But might you do it, and do the world no wrong, if your heart were touched with that same remorse as mine is to him?
He is sentenced. 'Tis too late.
You are too cold.
Too late? Why, I that do speak a word may call it back again. Well, believe this. No ceremony that to great ones longs, not the king's crown, nor the deputed sword, the marshal's truncheon, nor the judge's robe, have in them half so good a grace as mercy does. If he had been as you, and you as he, you would have slipped like him. But he, like you, would not have been so stern.
Pray you be gone.
I would to heaven I had your potency in you, Isabel. Should it then be thus? No. I would tell what 'twere to be a judge and what a prisoner.
No, I touch him. There's the vein.
Your brother is forfeit of the law, and you but waste your words.
Alas, alas, why all the souls that were forfeit ones, and he that might the vantage best have took found out the remedy. How would you be, if he which is top of judgment should but judge you as you are? Oh, think on that, and mercy then will breathe within your lips like man you made.
Be content, fair maid. 'Tis the law, not I, who condemns your brother. Were he my kinsman, my son, my brother, who would be thus with him. He must die tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, that's sudden. Spare him, he's not prepared for death. Even for our kitchens we kill the fowl of season. Should we then serve heaven with the same respect that we do minister to our gross selves? Good, good, my lord, bethink you. Who is it that had died for this offence? There's many have committed it.
Aye, well said.
The law hath not been dead, though it hath slept. Those many who would not dare to do evil if the first the edict did infringe had answered for his deed.
Yet show some pity!
I show it most when I show justice. I pity those I do not know, which a dismissed offence after gall and do him right. Answering one foul wrong lives not to breed another. Be satisfied, your brother must die, be content.
So you must be the first that gives the sentence, and he that suffers. Oh, it is excellent to have a giant's strength, but it is tyrannous to use it like a giant.
That's well said.
Could great men thunder, as Jove himself does? Jove would never be quiet. For every pelting petty officer would use his heaven for thunder, nothing but thunder. Merciful heaven, thou rather, with thy sharp and sulphurous spot splits the unwedgeable anard oak than the soft myrtle. But man, proud man, dressed in a little brief authority, most ignorant what he is most assured, his glassy essence, performs such fantastic tricks before high heaven as makes angels weep, who, with our spleens, would all themselves love mortal.
Oh, to him, wench. He will relent. He's coming, I perceive it.
Pray heaven should wins him. Great men may jest with saints, 'tis wit in them, but in the less foul profanation.
Thou art in the right, Earl. More of that.
That in the captain's but a choleric word, which in the soldier's flat blasphemy.
Not thou advised of that. More on it.
Why do you put these sayings upon me?
Because authority, though it err like others, hath yet a kind of medicine in itself that skins the vice over the top. Go to your bosom, knock there. Ask your heart what it doth know that's like my brother's fault. If it confess a natural guiltiness such as is his, let it not sound a thought upon your tongue against my brother's life.
She speaks. It is such sense that it breeds with my own. Come again tomorrow.
Gentle, my lord, turn back.
I will bethink thee. Come again tomorrow.
Hark, how I'll bribe you, good my lord. Turn back.
How bribe me?
Aye, with such gifts that heaven shall share with you.
You are not all else.
Not with fond sickles of the tested gold, nor with stones whose rates are either rich or poor as fancy values them, but with true prayers, that shall up at heaven and enter there ere sunrise. Prayers from preserved souls, from fasting maids whose minds are dedicate to nothing temporal.
Well, come again tomorrow.
Go to, 'tis well away.
Heaven keep your honour safe.
Amen. I go to now where prayer and temptation cross.
At what hour tomorrow shall I attend your lordship?
Any time before noon.
Save your honour.
From thee, from thy virtue. What's this? What's this? Is this her fault or mine? The tempter, the tempted. Who sins most? Not her, for she does not tempt, but I, like the violet in the sun, do as the carrion does, and not as the flower corrupt with virtuous season. Can more modesty betray our sense than women's lightness? On wasted ground shall we desire to raise the sanctuary and pitch our evils there. Oh, fie, fie, fie! What dost thou? What art thou, Angelo? Let her brother live. Oh, but thieves or robbery authority grants when judges do steal themselves away. Do I love her? That I desire to see her again and feast upon her eyes? What is this I dream on? O most cunning enemy, to catch a saint with a saint thou must bait thy hook. 'Tis the most dangerous temptation that goads us on to commit sin in loving virtue. Not even the strumpet with all her double vigour, arts, and nature could stir my temper so. This virtuous maid subdues me quite.
Hail to you, Provost. So I think you are.
I am the provost. What's your will, good friar?
Bound by my charity and my sacred order, I've come to visit the afflicted spirits here in the prison. Do me the common right to let me see them, and to make me know the nature of their crimes, that I may minister to them accordingly.
I would do more than that, and more would needful. Look here, a gentlewoman of mine, who, falling in the flaws of her own youth, has blistered her report. She is with child, and he that got it, sentence a young man more fit to commit another such offence than die for this.
When must he die?
As I do think, tomorrow. I have provided for you. Stay a while, and you shall be conducted.
Repent, you fair one, of this sin that you carry.
I do, and bear the shame most patiently.
I'll teach you how you shall arraign your conscience and try your penitence, if it be sound or hollowly put on.
I'll gladly learn.
Loved you the man that wronged you?
Yes, as I loved the woman that wronged him.
So that it seems your most offenseful act was mutually committed.
Mutually.
Well then, was your sin of heavier kind than his?
I do repent it, father.
'Tis me so, daughter. But lest you do repent, is that the sin hath brought you to this shame, which sorrow is always towards ourselves, not to heaven, showing we would not spare heaven as we love it, as we stand in fear.
I do repent me as it is an evil, and bear the shame with joy.
Your partner, as I hear, is to die tomorrow. I'm going of instruction to him. Grace be with you, Benedict.
Must I tomorrow? O injurious law that respites me a life whose only comfort is still a dying horror.
'Tis pity of him.
When I pray and think, I think and pray in many subjects. Heaven hath my empty words, my invention, having not my tongue yet anchored on Isabella. Or heaven in my mouth, as if I only did but chew his name, and in my heart the strong and swelling evil of my conception. The state whereupon I studied is, like a good thing being often read, grown sere and tedious, yea, my gravity. Wherein, and let no man hear this, I take pride. Could I with boot change for an idle plume which beats the air in vain? O place, O form, how often dost thou, with thy case, thou habits, wrench awe from fools, and tie wiser souls to false seemings? Blood, thou art blood. Let's write good angel on the devil's horn, 'tis not the devil's crest. Go to, who goes there?
One Isabel, the sister, desires access to you.
We'll teach her the way. Oh heavens, how my blood thus musters to my heart, rendering all my other parts unable for their important functions. How now, fair maid?
I am come to know your pleasure.
That you might know it would much better please me than to demand what 'tis. Your brother cannot live.
Even so, heaven keep your honour.
Yet he may live a while, and it may be as long as you or I. Yet he must die.
Under your sentence?
Yeah.
When, I do beseech you, that in his reprieve, longer or shorter, he may be so fitted that his soul sicken not.
Oh, fie, these filthy vices. It was good to pardon him as hath stolen from nature a man already made, as to remit their saucy sweetness, that do coin heaven's image on stamps that are forbid. It were as easy to falsely take away a life true made, as put metal in restrained means to make a false one.
To set down so in heaven, but not in earth.
Who say you so? Then I shall pose you this quickly. Which had you rather? That now the most just law would take your brother's life, or, to redeem him, would give up your body to that same sweet uncleanness as she he hath stained?
So believe this, I'd rather give my body than my soul.
Oh, I speak not of your soul. Our compelled sins stand more for number than accounts.
How say you?
I'll not warrant that, for I can speak against that which I say, but rather answer this. When I, now the voice of the recorded law, do proclaim a sentence on your brother, is there not a charity in sin to save this brother's life?
Please you to do it. I'll take it as a peril to my soul. It is no sin at all but charity.
Peril at your soul, poised between sin and charity.
That I do beg his life. If it be sin, heaven let me bear it. You granting of my suit, if that be sin, I'll make it my morn prayer to have it added to the thoughts of mine and nothing of your answer.
Your sense pursues not mine. Either you are ignorant, or seem so craftily, and that's no good.
Let me be ignorant and in nothing good, but graciously to know I am no better.
Oh, how wisdom wishes to appear most bright when it doth tax itself. These black masks proclaim an enshielded beauty 10 times louder than beauty could display. Mark me to be received plain now. I'll speak no more grossly. Your brother is to die.
So?
And his sentence is accountant to the law upon that pain.
True.
And so admit no other way to save his life, as I subscribe, and no other, in lack of question, that when you, his sister, finding yourself desired of such a person whose credit with the judge, her own great place, could fetch him from the manacles of the all-binding law, and with no other earthly means to save him than to give up your body to this suppose, or let him suffer, what would you do?
As much for my poor brother as myself. That is, were I under the terms of death. The impression of keen whips I were as rubies, and strip myself to death as to a bed that longing had been sick for, ere I'd yield my body up for shame.
Then he must die.
And 'twere the cheaper way, better were a brother died at once than that a sister by redeeming him should die forever.
You seem to make a tyrant of the law.
Oh, pardon me, my lord. If oft falls out to have what we would have, we speak not what we mean. I something do excuse the thing I love, for it is an advantage that I dearly love.
You prove this sliding of your brother more a merriment than a vice.
Pardon me once again, my lord.
We are all frail.
Else let my brother die, if not of Frederick, then only he owe and succeed thy weakness.
Women are frail too.
Oh, as the glasses where they do view themselves, which are as easy broke as they make forms. Women, help heaven. Men, their creation mar in profiting by them. Nay, call us 10 times frail, for we are as soft as our complexions are and credulous to false prints.
I think it well, as I suppose we are made to be no stronger than the faults that may shake our frames. I do arrest your words, being that you are as you are. That is a woman. If you were more, you would be none, but you are one, and you are well expressed. And now by all external warrants, show it now, please, by putting on the destined livery.
I have no tongue but one. Gentle, my lord, let me entreat you speak the former language.
Plainly conceive, I love you.
Oh, my brother did love Juliet, and you tell me he shall die for it.
We must not, if you but gave me love.
I know your virtue hath a license in it, which seems a little fouler than it is to pluck on others.
My words do express my purpose, on my honour.
Little honour to be much believed, and most pernicious purpose. Seeming. I will proclaim thee, Angelo, look for it. Sign me a present pardon for my brother, or with an outstretched throat, I'll tell the world aloud what man thou art.
But who would believe thee, Isabel? My unsoiled name, the austereness of my life, my vouch against yours, my place in this state, it would so your accusation overweigh that you shall stifle in your own report and smell calumny? I have begun, and now give my sensual race the reins. Fit thy consent to my sharp appetite, lay by all nicety and prolicious blushes that banish what they sue for. Yield up thy body to my will. Or else your brother must not only die the death, but die in kindness will his death drive to lingering sufferance. Answer me tomorrow. By the affection that now guides me most, I'll prove a tyrant to him. As for you, say what you can. My false outweighs your true.
To whom should I complain? Did I tell this? Who would believe me? Oh, perilous mouths that bear in them one and the self-same tongue, either of condemnation or of proof, bidding the law make courtesy to their will, hooking both right and wrong to the appetite to follow as it draws. I'll to my brother. Though he hath fallen by prompture of the blood, yet hath he in him such a mind of honour, that had he 20 heads to tender down, on 20 bloody blocks, he'd yield them up, before his sister should her body stoop to such a bold pollution. Then Isabel lived chaste, and brother die. More than our brother is our chastity. I'll tell him yet of Angelo's request, and fit his mind to death for his soul's rest.
So then you hope of pardon from Lord Angelo?
The miserable have no medicine, but only hope. I have hope to even and prepared to die.
Peace, hope be here, grace and good company.
Who's there? Come in. The wish deserves a welcome.
Dear sir, ere long I'll visit you again.
Most holy sir, I thank you.
My business is a word or two with Claudio.
And very welcome. Look, Signora, here's your sister.
Provost, a word of you.
As many as you please.
Bring me to hear him speak where I may be concealed.
Now, sister, what's the comfort?
Aye, as all comforts are, most good indeed. Lord Angelo, having affairs to heaven, intends you for his swift ambassador. Therefore, your best appointment make with speed. Tomorrow you set on.
Is there any remedy?
No, none, but such a remedy as to save a head, to cleave a heart in twain.
But is there any?
Yes, brother, you may live. There is a devilish mercy in the judge if you'll implore it, that will free your life but fetter you till death.
Well, let me know the point.
I do fear thee, Claudio, lest our feverish life shouldst entertain in 6 or 7 winters more respect than a perpetual honour.
Why do you give me this shame? Think that I can resolution fetch from flowery tenderness? If I must die, I will encounter darkness as a bride, and I will hug it in mine arms.
'Tis the cunning livery of hell, that damn this body to invest and cover its precise guards. Dost thou think, Claudio, if I would yield to him my virginity, thou mightst be freed?
Heavens, it cannot be.
Yes, he would give thee, from this rank offence so to offend him still. This night's the time that I should do what else I abhor to name, or else thou diest tomorrow. Oh, were it but my life, I'd throw it down for your deliverance as frankly as a pin.
Thanks, dear Isabel.
Be ready, Claudio, for your death tomorrow.
Yes. Has he affections in him that could make him bite the law by the tongue when he would force it? Sure it is no sin, or of the deadly 7 it is the least.
Which is the least?
Well, if it were damnable, he being so wise, why would he for the momentary trick be procurably fined? Oh,
What
Isabel,
says my brother?
death is a fearful thing!
And shame like the hateful!
Sweet sister, let me live. The sin you do to save a brother's life, nature will dispense a deed so far it becomes a virtue.
Oh, you beast! Oh, faithless, coward, dishonest wretch! Wilt thou be made a man out of my vice? It's not a kind of incest in itself to take life on mine own sister's shame. What should I think? Heaven shield, my mother played my father there, for such a slip of wilderness ne'er issue from his blood. Take my defiance, die, perish, might but my bending down reprieve thee from thy fate it should proceed. I'll pray 1,000 prayers for thy death, no word to save thee.
Nay, hear me,
Oh,
Isabel.
fine. Thy sin's not accidental, but a trade. Mercy to thee would prove itself aboard, 'tis best thou diest quickly.
Hear me, Isabel!
Vouchsafe a word, young sister. But one word.
What is your will?
Might you dispense with your leisure? I would by and by have some speech with you. The satisfaction I would require is likewise to your benefit.
I have no superfluous leisure. My stay must be stolen out of other affairs. But I will attend you a while.
Son, I have heard what hath passed between you and your sister. Angelo had never the purpose to corrupt her. Only he had made an assay of her virtue to practice his laws with the disposition of natures. I'm confessor to Lord Angelo, and know this to be true. Therefore, prepare yourself to death. Do not satisfy your resolution with hopes that are fallible. Tomorrow, you must die. Go to your knees and make ready.
Let me bid my sister pardon. And so out of love with life, I will sue to be rid of it.
Hold you there. Farewell. The hand that hath made you fair hath made you good. The assault that Angelo hath made to you, fortune hath conveyed to my understanding. But that frailty hath examples of his falling. I should wonder at Angelo. How will you do to content this substitute and to save your brother?
I am going now to resolve him. I'd rather my brother die by the law than my son should be unlawfully born. Oh, but how much has the good commissioner deceived in Angelo? If ever he return and I can speak with him, I will open my lips in vain or discover his government.
That shall not be much amiss. Yet, as the matter now stands, he will avoid your accusation. He made trial of you only. Therefore, fasten your ear on my advisings. I do make myself believe that you may most uprighteously do a poor wronged lady a merited benefit. Redeem your brother from the angry law. Do no stain to your own gracious person, and much please the absent commissioner, if peradventure he shall ever return to have hearings of this business.
Let me hear you speak, Father. I have spirit to do anything that appears not foul in the truth of my spirit.
Have you not heard speak of Mariana, the sister of Frederick, the great soldier who was buried at sea?
I have heard of the lady, and good words went with her name.
She should this Angelo hath married, was affianced to her by oath and a nuptial appointed, between which time of the contract and the limit of the solemnity her brother Frederick was wrecked at sea, having in that perished vessel the dowry of his sister. But mark how heavily this befell that poor gentle woman. There she lost a noble and renowned brother, his love towards her ever most kind and natural. With him, the portion and sinew of her fortune, her marriage dower. With both her combinate husband, this well-seeming Angelo.
Can this be so? Did Angelo so leave her?
Left her in tears, and dried not one of them with his comfort. Swallowed his vows whole, pretending in her discoveries of dishonour. In few, bestowed her on her own lamentation, which she yet wears for his sake. And he, a marble to her tears, is washed with them, but relents not.
What merit were it in death to take this poor maid from the world? Or what corruption in life that it will let this man live? Oh, but how out of this can she avail?
It is a rupture you may easily heal, and the cure of it not only saves your brother, but keeps you from dishonour in doing it.
Show me how, good father.
Go you to Angelo. Answer his requiring with plausible obedience. Agree to his demands to these points. First, that your stay with him may not be long, and the place answer to convenience. We shall advise this wronged lady to stead up your appointment. Go in your place. If the encounter hereafter acknowledge itself, it may compel him to her recompense. And here, by this, is your brother saved, your honour untainted, the poor Mariana advantage, and the corrupt deputy scaled. What think you of it?
The image of it gives me content already, and I trust it will grow to a most prosperous perfection.
It lies much in your holding up. Haste you speedily to Angelo. If for this night he entreat you to his bed, give him promise of satisfaction. I'll presently to St. Luke's. There at the moated grange resides this dejected Mariana. At that place call upon me, and dispatch to Angelo that it may be quickly.
I thank you for this comfort. Fare you well, good father.
Nay, if there be no remedy for it, that you will feel the need to buy and sell men and women like beasts, then we shall have the whole world drink brown and white bastards.
I spy comfort, I cry bail. Here's a gentleman and a friend of mine.
Why, how now, noble Pompey? What, at the wheels of Caesar art thou led in triumph? What, are there none of Pygmalion's images of newly made woman to be had putting the hand in the pocket and extracting it clutched? What sayest thou, Trot? What's the tune, matter, and method, man? Is the world as it was, man? Is it sad and few words, or how? The thick of it. How doth my dear morsel, thy mistress, procure she still her?
Troth, sir, she hath eaten up all her beef, and she is herself in the tub.
Why, it is good, the right of it must be so. Ever your fresh whore and powdered board, and a shunned consequence. It must be so. Art thou going to prison, Pompey?
Yes, faint, sir.
Well then, 'tis good, Pompey, go. Say I sent thee thither. For debt, Pompey, or how?
For being a board, for being a board!
Well then, imprison him. If imprisonment be the due of a board, board is he doubtless, and of antiquity too, board. Farewell, good Pompey. You will keep the house now, Pompey. You will make a good wife.
I pray your good worship will be my bail.
No, indeed, Pompey, I will not. If you take it not patiently, why, your mettle is the more. Adieu, trusty Pompey. Bless you, Brian. Does Bridget hate still, Pompey?
Come, Arms, come.
You will not fail me then, sir.
To your kennel, Pompey. Go. Why, how now, Friar? What news of the Commissioner?
I know of none. Could you tell me of any?
Well, he's a very superficial, ignorant, unweighing fellow.
Even this is the envy in you, sir. Folly or mistaking. The very stream of his life and the business he hath helmed must upon a warranted need give him a better proclamation. I pray you, your name.
So my name is Lucio, well known to the Commissioner, and I to him.
I shall know you better, sir, if I may live to report you.
I fear you not, sir. The Commissioner would have dark deeds darkly answered. He would never bring them to light if he were returned.
Well, you'll answer for this one day. Farewell.
Nay, tarry, sir. Stay a while. I can tell you pretty tales of the Duke.
You have told me too many of him already, sir. If they be true, if not true, none were enough.
I was once before him getting a wench with child.
Did you such a thing?
Yes, sir, married did I, but I was fain to forswear it. I prithee, pray for me, friar. I say to thee again, the Commissioner would have eaten mutton on Fridays. I say to thee again, the Commissioner would have mouthed with a beggar, though she smelt of brown bread and garlic. Say that I said so. Farewell.
What king so strong can tie that gall up in that slanderous tongue? Who else comes here?
Go away with her to prison. Go away.
Good my lord, be good to me. Your honour is accounted for a merciful man. Be good, my lord.
Double and treble apparition, and still forfeit in the same kind, and make mercy swear and play the tyrant.
A board of 11 years, if it please your honour.
My lord, this one is Lucio's information against me. Mistress Kate Keepdown was with child by him in the Commissioner's time. He promised her marriage. His child is a year and a quarter old. Come, Philip and Jacob. I have kept it to myself, you see, and see how he goes about to abuse me.
That fellow is a fellow of much license. Go, away with her to prison now. No more words.
Shame on him whose cruel striking kills for faults of his own likings. Twice treble shame on Angelo, to weed my vice, but let his grow. Oh, what may man within him hide, though angel on the outward side? How may likeness made in crimes make a practice on the times? To draw with idle spider strings, most ponderous and substantial things. Craft against vice I must apply, for with Angelo tonight shall lie, his old betrothed but despised, so disguise shall buy the disguise. pay for falsehoods, false exacting, and perform an old contracting.
Take those lips away, that so sweetly were forsworn, and those eyes, the break of day, lights that do mislead the morn, but my kisses bring again, seas of love, but sealed in vain, sealed in vain. Break off thy song, haste speed quick away. Oh, here comes about comfort, whose advice stills my brawling discontent. I cry you mercy, sir, and pray you hadn't found me here so musical.
Oh, 'tis good, though music oft have such charm, to make bad good and good provoke to harm. I pray you, tell me, hath anybody inquired for me here today? Much upon this time I've promised here to meet.
You've not been inquired after. I've sat here all day.
I do constantly believe you. The time has come even now. I shall crave your forbearance a little. Maybe I will call upon you anon for some advantage to yourself.
I'm always bound to you.
'Tis well met and welcome. What news of this good deputy?
He hath the gardens to come with Brick, and there have I made my promise, upon the heavy middle of the night to call upon him.
Are there no tokens between you agreed, concerning her observance?
No, none, only a repair in the dark, and that I have possessed him, my most they can be but brief. For I have made him know I have a servant comes with me along that stays upon me, whose persuasion is to come about my brother.
Ah, well borne up. How agreed?
She'll take the enterprise upon her father if you'll advise it.
It is not my consent, but my entreaty too.
Little have you to say, when you depart from him, but, soft and low, remember now my brother.
Fear me not.
Nor, gentle daughter, fear you at all. He is your husband on a pre-contract. To bring you thus together, 'tis no sin, as if that the justice of your title to him doth flourish the deceit. Come, let us go. Our corns to reap, for yet our tithes to sow.
Come, ma'am. Tomorrow morning are to die Claudio and Barnaby. Here is in our prison a common executioner, who in his office lacks a helper. If you will take it on you to assist him, it shall redeem you from your gyves. If not, you shall have your full time of imprisonment, and your deliverance with an unpitied whipping, for you have been a notorious bot.
Mum, I have been an unlawful board time out of mind, but I would be content to be a lawful hangman. I'd be glad to receive some instructions from my fellow partner. What, Lord Morson? Where's the Morson bear?
Did you call, ma'am?
Sirrah, here's a fellow will help you tomorrow in your execution. She cannot plead her estimation with you. She hath been a bawd. Are you agreed?
Mum, I will serve him.
You, Sirrah, provide your blacks and axe tomorrow 4 o'clock.
Come on board. I shall instruct thee in thy trade. Follow.
I thank you for your kindness.
Welcome, father.
The best and wholesomest spirits of the night envelop you, good provost. Tell me, hath anybody inquired for me here?
No, not since the curfew rung.
Not Isabel?
No.
Well, they will then, ere it be long.
What comfort is for Claudio?
There is some in hope.
It is a bitter deputy.
Now, ma'am, what news?
Lord Angelo, be like thinking me remiss in mine office, awakens me with this unwonted putting on. Methinks strangely, for he hath not used it before.
Pray you, let's hear.
Whatsoever you may hear to the contrary, let Claudio be executed by 4 o'clock, and in the afternoon Barnaby. For my better satisfaction, let me have Claudio's head send me by 5. Let this be duly performed, with a thought that more depends on it than we must yet deliver. Thus fail not to do your office, and you shall answer it at your peril. What say you to this, sir?
How came it that the absent commissioner had not either delivered him to his justice or executed him? I have heard it was ever his manner to do so.
His friends still wrought reprise for him, and his fact, indeed, till now in the government of Lord Angelo, came not an undoubted proof.
It is now apparent.
Most manifest, and not denied by himself.
More of him anon. There is, Provost, written in your brow, honesty and constancy. If I read it not truly, my ancient skill beguiles me. But in the boldness of my cunning, I shall lay myself in hazard. Claudio, whom here you have the warrant to execute, is no greater forfeit to the law than Angelo, who have sentenced him. To make you understand this in a manifested effect, I crave but 4 days' respite, for the which you are to do me both a present and dangerous courtesy.
Pray, sir, in what?
In the delaying death.
Alack! How may I do it, having the hour limited and an express command under penalty to deliver his head in view of Angelo? I may make I kiss as Claudio's, not to cross this in the smallest.
By the vow of mine order, I warrant you, if my instructions may be your guide, let this Barnardine be this morning executed, and his head borne to Angelo.
Angelo hath seen them both and will discover the fable.
Oh, death is a great disguiser, and you may add to it. Shave the head and the beards, and say it was the desire of the penitent to be so barred before his death.
Pardon me, noble lord. It is against my oath.
Were you sworn to the commissioner or to the deputy?
To him and his substitutes.
You will think you have made no offence, then, if the commissioner avouched the justice of your dealings.
But what likelihood is in that?
Not a resemblance, but a certainty. Yet, since I see you fearful that neither my coat, integrity, nor persuasion can with ease attempt you, I will go further than I meant, to pluck all fears from you. Look you, sir, is the hand and seal of the commissioner. You know the character, I doubt not, and their signet is not strange to you.
I know them both.
The contents of this is the return of the commissioner, which you will find within these 2 days he will be here. This is a thing Angelo knows not. For even this very day he receives letters of strange tenor. Perchance of the commissioner's death. Perchance his entering into some monastery. But by chance, nothing of what is writ. Call your executioner, and off with Barnardine's head. I'll give him a present shrift and advise him for the better place. But you are amazed. But this will absolutely resolve you. Come away. It's near clear dawn. Quick, dispatch and send the head to Angelo. Now, I shall write letters to Angelo. Provost, she shall bear them. As witness to him, I am near at home. And thus, by great injunctions, I am bound to enter publicly. Him I desire to meet at the consecrated founts a league below the city. From thence, by cold gradation and well-balanced form, we shall proceed with Angelo.
Peace, ho, be here.
The tongue of Isabella. She's come to know if her brother's pardon be come hither. But I will keep her ignorant of her good, to save her heavenly comforts of despair when's least expected.
Ho, by your leave.
Good morning to you, fair and gracious daughter.
The better given me by so holy a man, hath yet the deputy sent my brother's pardon?
He hath released him, Isabel, from the world. His head is off and sent to Angelo.
Nay, but it is not so.
It is no other. Show your patience, kind daughter, in your close wisdom.
I will to him and pluck out his eyes.
You shall not be admitted to his sight.
Unhappy Claudio, wretched Isabella, injurious world, most damned Angelo!
Shh. This nor hurts him, nor profits you a jot. Forbear it, therefore, give your cause to heaven. Mark what I say, which you will find within every syllable of faithful verity. The commissioner comes home tomorrow. Nay, dry your eyes. One of our convent and Angelo's confessor gives us this instance. Already he hath carried to notice to Escalus and Angelo, who do prepare to meet him at the gates there to give up their power. If you can, pace your wisdom on that good path I would wish it to go. And you will have your bosom on this wretch, grace of the commissioner, revenges to your heart, and general honour.
I am directed by you.
This letter, then, to Friar Peter give. 'Tis he who sent me of the commissioner's return. Say by this token that I desire to meet him at Mariana's house tonight. Her cause and yours are perfecting withal. And he shall bring you before the commissioner, to the head of Angelo, accuse him home and home. For my poor self I am combined by sacred vow, and shall be absent. When do you have this letter? Command these fretting waters from your eyes with a light heart. Trust not in my holy order if I pervert your cause. Who's there?
Good evening, Friar. Where is the provost?
Not within, sir.
Oh, pretty Isabella, I am pale at mine heart to see thine eyes so red. Thou must be patient. They say the commissioner will be here by tomorrow. By my troth, I love thy brother. If the old fantastical commissioner of dark corners had been home, he had lived.
Every letter he hath writ of debauched other.
In most distracted and uneven manner, his actions speak much like to madness. Pray heaven's wisdom not be tainted. And why must we meet him at the city gates to redeliver our authorities there?
I guess not.
And why must we proclaim that if any seek remissive injustice upon his return, they must exhibit their petitions in the streets?
But he shows us reasons for that. To have a dispatch of complaints and then to deliver us from devices hereafter, so that they'll have no power to stand against us.
Well, I beseech thee, proclaim it so. The times in the morn I'll call upon you at your house. Give such words that men of suit and sort to meet us there.
I shall, sir. Fare you well.
Good night. Oh, this deed makes me unpregnant and dull to all proceedings. A deflowered maid, by such an eminent body that enforces the law against it. How her tender loss might proclaim her maiden shame against me, how she might tongue me. And yet reason dares her no. For my authority bears so creed in the bulk that no one particular scandal can touch it. Oh, he should have lived. Save that righteous youth with dangerous sense, yet in time he may have come to take revenge against me, for receiving such a dishonoured life with dowry of shame. Yet he should have lived. Alas, when our grace we forgot nothing goes right. We would, and we would not.
To speak so indirectly, I am low. I would say the truth, but to accuse him so that is your part, yet I'm advised to do it, he says to Belfort purpose.
Be ruled by him.
Besides, he tells me that if peradventure he speak against me on the adverse side, I should not think it strange. There's a physic that's bitter to sweet end.
I would. Oh, Friar Peter.
Oh, peace, the friar is come.
Come, I have found you out to stand most fit, where you may have such advantage of the commissioner, he shall not pass you. Twice have the trumpet sounded, and the generous and graver citizens are entered through the gates. Very near upon the commission's entering, therefore hence, away.
My very worthy cousin, barely met. Our old and faithful friend, we are glad to see you.
Happy returns to your royal grace.
Happy returns to your royal grace.
Many and hearty thankings to you both. We have made inquiry of you, and we hear such goodness of your justice that our souls cannot help but yield you forth to public thanks for running more requital.
You make my bonds greater still.
Give me your hand. And let the subject see to make them know that outward courtesies would fain proclaim favours that keep within. Come, Escalus, you must walk by us on our other hand, and good supporters are you.
It is now your time. Speak loud and kneel before him.
Justice, O Commissioner, veil your regard upon a wrong I would fain have said and made. Dishonour not your eye by throwing it on any other object until you have heard me in my true complaint.
Relate your wrongs? In what? By whom? Be brief. Here is Lord Angelo shall give you justice. Reveal yourself to him.
Oh, worthy Commissioner, you bid me seek redemption of the devil. Hear
My
me
lord, her wits,
yourself.
I fear, are not firm. She was a suitor to me for her brother, but was cut off by the course of justice.
By course of justice.
She will speak most bitterly and strange.
Most strange, yet most truly will I speak. That Angelo's forsworn, it's not strange. That Angelo's a murderer, it's not strange. That Angelo's an adulterous thief and hypocrite, a virgin violator, is not strange and strange.
Nay, it is 10 times
Is it
strange.
not truer he is Angelo? Then it is all as true as it is strange. Nay, it is 10 times true. For truth is truth to the end of reckoning.
By mine honesty, if she be mad, as I believe no other, her madness hath the oddest frame of sense. Such a dependency of thing on thing as ever I've heard in madness.
Oh, gracious Commissioner, harp not on that. Nor do not banish reason for inequality, but let your reason serve to make truth appear where it seems hidden, hide the false seems true.
Many that were not mad have sure more lack of reason. What would you say?
I am the sister of one Claudio, condemned upon the act of fornication to lose his head, condemned by Angelo. I, in probation of a sisterhood, was sent to by Lucio, as then the messenger.
That's I, and like your grace, I came to her from Claudio, desired her to try her gracious fortune with Lord Angelo for her poor brother's pardon.
That's he indeed.
You were not bid to speak.
No, my good lord, nor wish to hold my peace.
I wish you now then. Pray you take note of it. And when you have some business for yourself, pray heaven you then be perfect.
I warrant your honour.
The warrant's for yourself. Take heed to it.
This gentleman told somewhat of my tale.
Right.
It may be right that you are in the wrong to speak before your time. Proceed.
I went to this pernicious caitiff deputy.
That's somewhat madly spoken.
Pardon it! The phrase is to the matter.
And it again.
In brief, to set the needless process by, how I persuaded, how I prayed and kneeled, how he repelled me and how I replied, for this was of much length. The vile conclusion I now begin with grief and shame to utter. He would not, but by gift of my chaste body to his concupiscible and temperate lust release my brother. And, after much debatement, my sisterly remorse confutes mine honour, and I did yield to him. But next morn betimes, his purpose defeating, he sends a warrant for my poor brother's head.
This is most likely.
Oh, that it were as like as it is true.
By heaven, fond wretch, thou knowest not what thou speakst. Or else thou art stubborn against his honour in hateful practice. First, his integrity stands without blemish. Next, it imports no reason that he with such vehemency should pursue faults proper to himself. If he had so offended, he would have weighed thy brother against himself and not have cut him off. Someone hath set you on. Confess the truth and say by whose advice thou camest here to complain.
And is this all? Then, oh, you blessed ministers above, keep me in patience, and with ripened time unfold the evil which is here wrapped up in countenance. Heaven shield your grace from woe, as I, thus wronged, hence unbelieved, go.
Oh, I know you'd fain be gone. An officer, to prison with her. Shall we thus permit such a blasting and scandalous breath to fall on him so near us? This needs must be a practice. Who knew of your intent in coming hither?
One that I would were here, Friar Lodowick.
A ghostly father, belike. Who knows that Lodowick?
My lord, I know him. 'Tis a very meddling friar. I do not like the man. But yesternight, she and that friar were at the prison. A very saucy fellow of a scurvy friar.
Blessed be your royal grace. I have stood by your side, my lord, and I have heard your royalty abused. First have this woman most wrongfully accused your substitute, who is as free from touch or soil as she from one ungot.
Did believe no less. Know you that Friar Lodowick she speaks of?
I know him for a man divine and holy, not scurvy, nor temporary meddler, as is reported by that gentleman. And, on my trust, a man that has never yet, as he vouches, misreport your grace.
My lord, most villainously, believe me.
Upon his mere request being come to knowledge that there was complaint intended against Lord Angelo, came I hither, to speak as from his mouth what I doth know is true or false. First, for this woman to justify that wrongfully man, she herself must here disprove to her eyes, till she confesses it.
Good friar, let's hear it. Do you not smile at this, Lord Angelo? Oh heaven, the vanity of wretched fools. Give us some seats. Come, cousin Angelo. In this I will be impartial. Be you judge of your own course. Is this the witness, friar? First let her show her face, and then after speak.
Pardon, my lord. I will not show my face until my husband bid me.
What, are you married?
No, my lord.
Are you a maid?
No, my lord.
A widow, then?
Neither, my lord.
Well, you are nothing, then. You've a maid, widow, nor wife.
My lord, she may be a punk, for many of them are neither maid nor widows.
Silence, that fellow.
Well, my lord.
My lord, I must confess, I've never been married. And I confess, besides, I am no maid. I have known my husband, yet my husband knows not that he ever knew me.
He was drunk, then, my lord. Could be no better.
For the benefit of silence, would thou wert so too?
Well, my lord.
This is no witness for Lord Angelo.
Now I come to it, my lord. She that accuses him of fornication, in self-same manner doth accuse my husband, and charges him, my lord, at a time when I'll depose that I've had him in mine arms with all the effects of love.
Oh, what charges she more than me?
Not that I know.
No? Say your husband.
Why, just that, my lord, and that is Angelo, who thinks he knows never knew my body, but thinks he knows Isabel's.
This is strange abuse. Let's see thy face.
My husband bid me. Now I will unmask. This is that face, thou cruel Angelo, that once swore us to be worth looking on. This is the hand, that the vowed contract was fast but locked in thine. This is the body, that took away the match from Isabel in the garden's house, in her imagined person.
Know you this woman?
Carnally, she says.
Sarah! No more.
My lord, I must confess, I do know this woman. It's been 5 years since there was some speak of marriage betwixt myself and her, cut off in part because her promised proportions came short of composition, but in chief because her reputation was disvalued in levity. But in the 5 years since, I never spoke with her, heard from her, or saw her, on my faith and honour.
Noble prince, as there comes light from heaven and words from breath, as there is sense in truth and truth in virtue, I'm affianced this man's wife, as strongly as words could make up vows. And, but Tuesday night last gone, in the garden shed, he knew me as a wife. As this is true, let me raise from my knees, or else ever be confixed here a marble monument.
I did but smile till now. My lord, give me scope of justice. My patience is thus touched. I do perceive these poor, informal women are but an instrument, an almightier member that sets them on. Give me leave, my lord, to find this practice out.
Aye, with my heart, and punish them to your height of pleasure. Thou foolish friar, thou pernicious woman, compact with her that's gone, think'st thy oaths, each particular saint were worth against his credits and testimonies? There is another friar that have set them on. Let it be sent for.
Would you were here, my lord, for he indeed have set this woman to this complaint. Your prophet knows best where he abides, she may go fetch him.
Go, do it instantly. And you, my noble and well-warranted cousin, whom it concerns to hear this matter forth, do with your injuries as seems you best in any chastisement. I for a while would leave you, but stir you not until you have well determined upon these slanderers.
My lord, I shall do it thoroughly. Signor Lucio, did you not say that you knew this Friar Lodowick to be a dishonest person?
cuculus non facit monarchum, honest in nothing but his clothes, and one who's spoken most villainously of the commissioner.
We shall entreat you to abide here till he comes forth. We shall find this friar a notable fellow.
As any in Vienna, on my word.
Calling that same Isabella once here again, I would like to speak with her. Pray you, my lords, let me leave to have question her. You'll see how well I handle her.
Not better than he by her own report.
Say you.
Yes, sir, marry, I think. If you hound her privately, she'll sooner confess. Publicly, she'll be ashamed.
I'll go darkly to work with her.
That's the way from the light at midnight.
Come, mistress. Is a gentlewoman that denies all that you've said.
My lord, who is the rascal? He was the provost.
Silence. Come, sir. Did you send these women on to slander Lord Angelo? They've confessed that you did.
'Tis false.
How? Know where you are?
Respect to your great place, and may the devil be sometime honoured for his burning throne. Where is the commissioner? Is he should hear me speak?
The commissioner is in all of us. You will speak now, and look that you speak justly.
Boldly, at least. Oh, poor souls, you come to seek the lamb, hear of the fox. Good night to your redress. Is the commissioner gone? Then is your cause gone too. The commissioner is unjust thus to manifest your retort, and to put your trial in that villain's mouth which you come here to accuse.
This is the rascal, this is he I spoke of.
Why, thou unhallowed and unreverend friar, 'tis not enough that thou wilt suborn these women to accuse the worthy man, but with improper ear to call him villain, and then to glance from him to the commissioner himself to tax him with injustice. Take him hence to the rack. We will choose you, joint by joint, but we all know your purpose. What unjust?
Be not so hot. The commissioner dare no more rack this finger of mine than he dare stretch his own. His subject I am not, nor here provincial.
Hark how the villain now closes after these treasonable abuses.
The villain's not worth talking with all. Away with him to prison. Where is the provost? Lay bolts enough on him. Let him speak no more. Away with those giglets too, and that confederate companion.
Stay, sir.
What resist? Help him, Lucio.
Come, sir, foe, sir, while you bald-pated lying rascal. Show your knave desires with a pox to you. Show your sheep-biting face and let it be hanged an hour. Will it not off?
Thou art the first knave that e'er madest a commissioner. First, provost, let me bail these gentle free. Sneak you not away, sir, for the friar and you must have words anon.
This may prove worse than hanging.
For what you have spoke, I pardon. Sit you down, we'll borrow place of him. Sir, by your leave, hast thou or word, or wit, or impudence that can yet do the office? If thou hast, rely upon it till my tale be heard, and hold no longer out.
Oh, my dreaded lord, I should be guiltier than guiltiness. No longer session hold upon my shame. Let my trial be my own confession, and quick sentence, and subsequent death is all the grace I beg.
Come hither, Marianne. Say, wast thou ever contracted to this woman?
My lord, I was.
Go hence, and marry her instantly. Do you the office, friar, which consummate, return him here again. Go with them, provost.
My lord, I am more amazed at his dishonour than at the strangeness of it.
Come hither, Isabel. Your friar is now your prince. As I was then advertising and wholly to your business, not changing hard to a habit, I am still attorney at your service.
Oh, give me pardon, that I, your vassal, have employed and paid your unknown sovereignty.
You are pardoned, Isabel. And now, dear maid, be you as free to us. Your brother's death, I know, sits in your heart, but peace be with him. That life is better life, past fearing death than that which lives to fear. Make it your comfort. So happy is your brother.
I do, my lord.
For this new married man approaching here, whose salt imagination yet have wronged your well-defended honour, you must pardon for Mariana's sake. But, as he adjudged your brother being criminal in double violation of sacred chastity and of promise breach, thereon dependent for your brother's life, the very mercy of the law cries out most audible. An Angelo for a Claudio, a death for death. Haste answers haste, and leisure answers leisure. Like doth quit like, and measure still for measure. Then, Angelo, thy faults thus manifested, though thou wouldst deny, denies thee vantage. We do condemn thee to the very block where Claudio stooped to death, and with like haste, away with him.
Oh, my good lord, I hope you do not mock me with a husband.
It is your husband that mocked you with a husband. Consenting to the safeguard of your honour, I thought your marriage fit, else imputation. For that he knew you, might reproach your life and choke your good to come. For his possessions, though by confiscation they are ours, we do widow you withal to buy you a better husband.
Oh, most gracious lord, I crave no other, no better man.
Never crave him. We are definitive.
Gentle, my liege.
You do but lose your labour. Away with him to death. Now, sir,
Oh, my God, Isabel, take your part, lend me your knees, and all my life to come, I'll do all my life to lend you good service.
against all sense do you importune her? Should she kneel down in mercy of this fact, her brother's ghost his paved bed would break and take her hence in horror.
Isabel, sweet Isabel, do but kneel by me. Hold up your hand, say nothing, I'll speak all. They say best men are moulded out of their faults, and for the most become a little better, being bad. So may my husband. Oh, Isabel, do but lend me.
He dies for Claudio's death.
Oh, most bounteous sir, look if it please you on this man condemned, as if my brother lived. I partly think a due sincerity governed his deeds, till he did look on me. Since it is so, let him not die. My brother had but justice in that he did the thing for which he died. For Angelo, his act did not overtake his bad intent, and must be buried but as an intent that perished by the way. Thoughts are no subjects, intents but many thoughts.
Merely, my lord.
Your suit's unprofitable. Stand up, I say. I have bethought me of another fault. Provost, how came it that Claudio was beheaded at an unusual hour?
'Twas commanded so.
Had you a special warrant for the deed?
No, my good lord. It was by private message.
For which I do discharge you of your office. Give me your keys.
Pardon me, noble lord. I thought it was a fault, but knew it not. Yet did repent me after more advice, for testimony whereof one in the prison, that should by private order else have died, I have reserved alive.
Go fetch him hither. Let me look upon him. What a muffled fellow is that?
This is a prisoner that I have saved, who should have died when Claudio lost his head. As almost to Claudio as himself.
If he be like your brother, for his sake is he pardoned. And for your lovely sake, give me your hand and say you will be mine. He is my brother too. But a fitter time for that. By this, Lord Angelo perceives he's safe. Methinks I see a quickening in his eye. Well, Lord Angelo, your evil quits you well. Look that you love your wife, her worth yours. I do find an apt remission in myself. Yet, is one in place that I cannot pardon. You, sirrah, that knew me for a fool, a coward, one all of luxury, and us a madman, wherein have I so deserved you that you extol me thus?
Faith, my lord, I spoke it but according to a trick. If you will hang me for it, you may, but rather you might prefer I might be whipped.
If any woman here wronged by this lewd fellow, as I have heard himself there is one he begot with child, let her appear, and he shall marry her instantly.
I beseech your highness, do not marry me to a whore. Do not recompense me by making me a cuckold.
By mine honour thou shalt marry her. Thy slanders I forgive, and remit thy other forfeits. Away with him to prison. She, Claudio, that you wronged, look you to restore. Joy to you, Mariana. Love her, Angelo. I have confessed her and know her virtue. Thank you, good friend Aeschylus, for thy much goodness. There's more behind that that's more gratulate. Thanks, Provost, for thy care and secrecy. We shall employ you in a worthier place. Forgive her, Angelo, that brought you the head of Barnardines for Claudio's. The offence pardons itself. Dear Isabella, I have a motion which much imports your good, if you'll a willing ear incline. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. So bring us to our palace where we will show what's yet behind. That's meet you all should know.